everyone, it is E and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit more serious than what I've been doing recently. If you recall, at the beginning of the year, I did a multi-part series discussing what my New Year's resolutions were. And some were related to expanding my creative activities, which I feel like I've been pretty successful in so far. If you take a look at my channel, you'll see that I've been uploading pretty consistently since January, and I've been having a lot of fun with that. Some were related to health, which I could be doing better with in terms of my weight loss goals and stuff like that, but I will say I have made progress, just very slow progress. And then my last resolution video was about finances and doing a no-buy year. So for those of you who maybe didn't see that video, who aren't familiar, a no-buy is a time period that you set aside to not make frivolous purchases. And you can kind of set the rules for yourself and what you would deem a frivolous purchase. For some people, eating out, they don't consider to be frivolous since you have to eat. But for other people, eating out is something that they have chosen to restrict for their no-buy or low-buy period. So for me, I set several rules at the beginning of the year for my no-buy, including restricting how often we eat out, not purchasing new clothing excessively, and things like that. And I spent the day yesterday looking back through bank statements to see if I've really been living up to the standards that I've set for myself. A lot of times you set these goals and then in the moment something comes up and you just buy it because you feel like you have to. And then you look back later and realize that your no buy was really more of a yes buy time period. Because all of those little purchases of things that you think, oh, I really should just go ahead and get it, those things wind up adding up. So looking back, I have kind of sorted out and summarized how each month went. So January was decent. We wound up spending $17.86 one day on a half a dozen donuts from a local donut place. That was frivolous, and the donuts weren't even that good. They were just gimmicky. We spent a little bit of money on Amazon. I can't even remember what for at this point. And my husband made a couple of purchases of ebooks for school. I made a purchase for The Sims 4 of an expansion pack, which was permissible because I allowed my husband and I each to make one video game purchase per season, so that was my winter video game purchase. And for the most part, we did pretty good. In terms of eating out, we went out to eat quite a bit, but we had a lot of gift cards, so a lot of those eating out bills were like $5, $7, whatever was left over that wasn't covered by the gift card. So for the most part, January was okay. Then February, we cut back and we did not eat out quite as much. We went out to eat like 3 times, and one of those was a gift card, so we really only spent a couple dollars to cover what the gift card couldn't. Valentine's Day was that month, so we did spend money to buy each other presents. But for the most part, it looks like February was a really good month. In March, I wound up buying a new pair of jeans from Old Navy, which was kind of expensive. I say expensive, it was $29.88. I think most people would not consider a jeans purchase of $29.88 to be expensive, but I'm so used to shopping like clearance that it felt kind of like a lot. And then we went out to eat like 4 times, and one of those was because of a gift card. And when I say out to eat, I'm including stuff like going through a drive-thru, because in March the self-isolation and the social distancing was in effect, so we didn't actually go out to eat. We were just going through drive-thrus, to be clear. I also cheated and made a purchase of a Sims stuff pack because it was on sale for like $5, which I really shouldn't have done. That's one of those things, like I said, that you buy it in the moment without thinking about it, and it may or may not add up to a large amount in the end when you go back and look. And then we had a purchase of a little over $50 from GameStop. I was using the rest of a gift card, and I wound up purchasing Animal Crossing New Horizons, which should be obvious if you see my channel that I have been playing that. And that was permissible as well because that was my spring video game purchase. And April was pretty good too. I made a spring clothing purchase. So I bought a shirt from Poshmark, which was permissible. I permitted myself and my husband to each get 2 new articles of clothing per season. So the jeans from Old Navy were a winter purchase, and then that shirt from Poshmark was a spring purchase. So I stayed on track by doing that. It looks like my husband picked up a video game from Steam in April, so that was his video game purchase for spring. We wound up buying some amiibo cards for Animal Crossing New Horizons to move out some villagers, and that was totally frivolous and unnecessary. I'm glad we did it. I don't regret it, but that's one of those things that was not really a necessary purchase that we wound up making anyway. And then we spent some money on Amazon so I could get those NFC tags to make my homemade amiibos, and I've got a video all about that if you're interested. And then in April, we got food out like 4 or 5 times, again through drive-thrus, because as we all know, the restaurants were closed. So I did average everything out, and for like quote-unquote frivolous item purchases, our average spending per month was a little over $100. Some of those items were pre-approved, like the new jeans and the video games, but some of those items were not pre-approved, and some of those we really wound up just needing, like our TV remote stopped working, so we had to order a new one. So sometimes stuff like that just comes up. Our grocery expenses, I was trying to limit those to about $300 per month, and we pretty much came out right at $300 per month, but considering how much we ate out, it's really not that impressive because we definitely ate out more than I was hoping to. I really wanted to only eat out like once a month, but it looks like we were eating out more like once a week. Still not terrible, but not as good as I wanted to be doing. And then we had some miscellaneous school and work expenses. We were buying some equipment so my husband could film services for our church, which we just decided to pay out of our own pocket so that we could keep the equipment rather than have it be under the ownership of the church. And my husband, like I said, had to make some purchases for school, for books and materials for projects, and that stuff really adds up. We probably spent a little over $100 on books for his schoolwork for the semester. Outside of required textbooks, these are additional books that he bought for like school report projects. So all in all, I feel like we've done decently with our no-buy. I think that spending $100 per month on non-bill, non-grocery food stuff is not terrible, but I think we could do better. And I think that we could do better in terms of not eating out quite so much. The quarantining or whatever has definitely helped to curb that temptation, but even still, drive-thrus are tempting. I'm not really sure if this no-buy has been that helpful. Part of the point of these things is to save money, but I really don't know how our savings accounts are looking. When I ran our numbers and stuff for the year, I really only looked at our checking account because that's where the money goes in and out of. But I don't really feel like we've been saving that much. We definitely have been saving. We use a second bank account to do most of our saving, and I haven't looked at it. But I think we could be doing better. I feel like we all probably feel that way about, saving and budgeting and stuff like that. We could be doing better. But for the most part, I'm pretty pleased with how we've been doing this year with not, spending money extraneously. So I think I would give us a B+ for our efforts this year. So as you can see, my little painting that I've been doing for the visual for this video is almost done. I finished it up off screen with some final details, and that's basically it. I appreciate you all for watching. I just want to say really quick, if you recall in my original video, I said I would allow myself to buy Disney pins once a month. Well, I have given that up because the Shop Disney website is so terribly broken. So I have sold the only Disney pins I bought and actually made some money off of those. So that is good for the finances. Anyway, y'all have a great day, and I'll speak to you later. Bye-bye.